All right, it's a monumental day here for us.
Can you be professional or can I cut up?
You can say whatever you want. It's a monumental day for us here on this project. We got the approval to sheet the floor, so I'm going to take you around and look at the floor. And I'm also going to, we got a special surprise today because I'm going to show you the HVAC system, and I'm going to show you the professional installer here, and we'll get him on camera in a minute too. But let's walk around and look at the framing. So if you remember from my earlier videos, you saw me ripping out the floor in here and demoing the entire floor because it was horrible. It was sagging, and so then we laser leveled the whole floor, and you can see the difference between the new joists and the old joists. That shows you how bad out of level the floor was. Okay, so we based our floor on this higher spot right here, and we took that level all the way through the house. Okay, so I'm going to go around, I'm going to show you all the blocking, because when you rip the floor out like this and you don't rip the walls down, then you have to block around where your sheets are going to go, otherwise you've got no nailing right there. Okay, so this room back here has all the tools in it. We're getting ready to sheet the floor, but you see how I had to put all the blocks in. Okay, and then over under this wall, I had to do some tricky stuff right here, but the laser level is what guided me around, and I just kept on the same offset off the laser level all the way around through these closets. And then I've gone around and I talked the owner into insulating the rim joist. So you can't really see all the blocking because I have the foam insulation in there, but if you could see on the new joist, see how it's higher from the old joist? Well, I've gone through and I've blocked every point right there, and then behind that rigid insulation there's also a block, so it'll keep the joists from rolling over. Okay, so the whole rim joist around the whole house has been blocked. Now, I've mentioned several times to the homeowner that I would like to insulate the foundation, but he said no. So what can I do? It's not my house, and I'm not going to turn down money to feed my family just because he doesn't want to insulate the crawl space. I'm going to sheet the floor. That's my job. And you could see that I've already insulated the whole perimeter of the rim joist, so that's already done. I guess the foundation supposedly can be insulated later, but it's going to be like almost impossible to get under there now. No vapor barrier, not my call. We've done the additional supporting here. We've beefed up this little support girder, and then I went through and I blocked every single new joist down, and I just glued it, because if I try to shoot those in, those are just going to blow to pieces. Okay, and then I want you to pay attention to these blocks over here, because the way I put these blocks in, that's going to keep the wall from wanting to fall out there at the bottom. So if you had a cardboard box and you left the top in place, but you cut the bottom out and then you stood on it, then the bottom of the box would crush out. So that's the example I'm giving you, so that you can understand why I put those blocks that way to hold that wall in. Okay, so all through the bedrooms, and the plumber has been out. He got a licensed plumber to put new water lines in and do the rough in, set the tub base, shower base, and we've already sheeted part of the floor here just so the plumber could get in there. And then you're also noticing the brand new HVAC system, and we're going to go over there and see what that's all about, and we're going to meet the installer. So where did he go? There he is right there. This is the man of the moment. This is my buddy Rick. And how long have you been doing HVAC for?
Well, good morning, John. How's everything?
Just great. We got the okay to sheet the floor.
Great, great. Always great news to make progress. I've been in the HVAC business now for about 37 years. Been installing for nearly 35 years. So I've been around the block a little bit. I've done a lot of remodels, restorations, as well as new construction and some industrial stuff as well.
Yeah, Rick did the HVAC system at my house years ago. He's been out on another job, and I just keep on pulling him out of retirement, and he keeps on doing favors for me because who else is going to do this? You know, he's given a great value to the homeowner because he's just kind of doing this, you know, as a favor to me type thing. And so we're super lucky to have an installer like Rick on the job here. Did you want to mention about the crawl space? Are you ever going to get down in another crawl space again?
I prefer not to.
That's the polite way to say it.
This is one of the tougher crawl spaces that you need to get into, but fortunately you had already ripped up the floor, so that made things a little bit easier, but I still had to get into it to hang the duct. Not very much of it because, as you can see, I ran all insulated flex in the crawl space, which is really the way to go in a situation like this. But I'll continue doing this type of work as long as I'm able to. This has been my bread and butter throughout my life, and I'm just going to hang in there for as long as I can.
So there you have it. You know, I met Rick on a job. He was the one responsible for putting all the heating systems in for this home builder that we used to work for in Colorado Springs, and I was framing, and I met him, and so he knows everything, you know, that any other tinner is going to know. So if anybody out there, I mean, if you need a job, you know, a floor redone, a whole heating system in your house, these are the two guys to call right here. So thanks, Rick. We're going to go down and keep walking around, and I'm going to show them the heating system down in the basement. All right, so let's go down in the basement. This is the bathroom that I was telling you about. And then this is that other bedroom. This is the blocking, okay? So again, on this other wall right here, with this blocking here, it's helping to grab the wall and keep it from going out. So super meticulous, takes a whole lot of time. I'm not going to say whether or not it is or isn't worth it, but I mean, this floor is ready to sheet, okay? I've been on this job for like 2 months, you know, off and on, but still, if this gives you an idea what a huge chore it is to redo a floor like this, you know, you have to weigh the pros and cons, like, is it really worth it? Or should I build a new house, you know? So, and then this right here, see this here, when we decided to add another bathroom on this house, we said, okay, well, when the floor sheeting comes up to that bathroom wall, I got to have those blocks there so I have a place to nail my sheeting. So that's why those blocks are in the floor like that. Okay. And let's go down in the basement and see some stuff down here. So you notice from my other videos that we did the concrete down here. This is Rick's heating system down here. Set the furnace down in here. And you know, he's got his return air coming down in. He's getting ready for that's where he's exhausting it out. He's got his fresh air intake there. I'm gonna have to patch up that hole later. So anyway, this is a super deluxe. I mean, it's just a regular furnace, you know, but for this old house, I mean, this old house doesn't deserve such a nice furnace, but it got one. You know, this is going to be a huge improvement from what this house was before, because earlier it just had like a wall furnace for the whole house, but now he's got at least 1 or 2 heat runs for every single room. So it's going to be a huge improvement in the comfort of the home inside here, and none of this would have been possible if the floor hadn't been ripped off. So sometimes that's just what you have to do to update your house. But anyway, moral to the story, try not to buy a house with a crawl space. If you do get a crawl space, then make sure you got room for your mechanical people to work in. Otherwise, you have to rip the floor up like I've done here. So Anyway, hope the video's been informative for you. Keep watching, and we'll keep you updated on how this floor looks after it's sheeted. Thank you.